In the small town of Ravenswood, nestled deep in the woods, there lived a man named Joseph. He was known throughout the town for his intricate and lifelike dolls, which he crafted with painstaking attention to detail. Joseph's dolls were so realistic that many people in the town often mistook them for real children. Despite his talent and popularity, Joseph was a lonely man. He had no family or friends and spent most of his time alone in his small shop surrounded by his dolls. Despite his loneliness, Joseph loved his dolls and devoted all of his time to making them as lifelike and realistic as possible. One day, a group of children from the town came to Joseph's shop. They were fascinated by the dolls and spent a long time examining them. But as they looked at the dolls, they began to tease Joseph, calling the dolls creepy and strange. They even knocked over some of the dolls and ran away laughing. Joseph was hurt and angry, but he didn't do anything about it. He simply picked up the dolls and went back to work trying to forget about the incident. That night, the children who had teased Joseph all had strange nightmares about the dolls coming to life and attacking them. They woke up in a cold sweat feeling as though they were being watched. They tried to shake off the feeling thinking it was just a bad dream, but the feeling of unease stayed with them. The next day, the children went back to Joseph's shop to apologize. But when they arrived, they found the door locked and the windows boarded up. No one had seen Joseph since the previous day, and the children grew worried. As days went by, strange things started happening in the town. Dolls started appearing in the windows of the children's bedrooms, and the children reported hearing strange noises at night. Some of the dolls even seemed to move on their own, their eyes following the children's every move. At first, the children tried to brush off the strange occurrences, thinking that it was just their imaginations running wild. But as the hauntings became more intense and terrifying, they realized that something was seriously wrong. One night, a group of children were playing in the woods when they stumbled upon Joseph's shop. The door was unlocked, and they went inside to investigate. What they found inside was a sight they would never forget. The shop was filled with hundreds of dolls, each one more lifelike and creepy than the last. But what really frightened the children was the sight of Joseph's body, which was lying on the floor surrounded by dolls. It was clear that he had been dead for some time. The children were shaken and scared, and they knew that they had to tell the town what they had found. But when they went back to the town, they found that no one would believe them. They were dismissed as being childish and fanciful, and were told to stop making up stories. But the dolls continued to haunt the town long after Joseph's death. They would appear in unexpected places, staring at the children with their glassy eyes. Some of the dolls even seemed to move on their own, their limbs creaking and groaning as they did so. The children grew up with a deep fear of dolls, and many of them could never shake the feeling that the dolls were still watching them, waiting to exact their revenge. And although the dolls eventually disappeared, the memory of Joseph's revenge stayed with the town for generations to come.